Good evening, everybody. It is Monday. It is Monday. Sorry, my brain is like a leaky sponge bag at the best of times. It is Monday. It is just gone 8 o'clock. That means it is time for the Total ModCons podcast. And blimey, do we have a lot to talk about? There's almost not enough hours in the day to talk about all the gaming wonders and news that there is. So let's get to it. This evening it is Triangle Face Tim.
Good evening all. It is ModCons Monday.
ModCons Monday. That could become a thing. And we have got Blanars.
Hello, and Timothy Earnshaw. No, not Earnshaw. Who is it? Who's just won my gift? It was Morley Buxton. Morley Buxton, yeah. So Morley Buxton, well done, mate. You have leveled up.
Excellent, as Mr. Burns would say. We have got in the chat this evening, we have got Rob Taylor. Good evening, Rob. Always good to see you. We have got Nick C. And the man that provides every jingle we have ever used, Dave Newland Music. Good evening, Dave. I hope you're keeping good, my friend. We've got Timothy Earnshaw. We have got Colin Brown. We've got Mike Holton. We have got Laszlo. Although whenever I hear that name, Laszlo, it just immediately makes me think of what we do in the shadows. So if you could type into the chat, New York City, that would make me very happy. We've got Mike Holton and everyone that is joining as we keep going. You are all very, very welcome this evening. Like I say, lots to talk about. So, yeah, let's get cracking with... it helps if you're in the right folder, doesn't it, to start with? Where are we at? ModCons.
Yeah.
What are you playing? Tim, what are you playing?
What am I playing? Well, I'm still playing a bit of Resident Evil Village because I'm not quite near the end yet. I did a bit of a boo-boo because I was like, this is feeling pretty end-of-game sort of area. And I spent loads of my money on ammo and stuff. And then went to the next area, which is the factory. And then the Duke is there and he's opened up a new shop with new merchandise. I was like, oh, no. And I didn't have enough money to buy one of the guns. I was like, oh. So I sold some stuff and bought the gun. But yeah, I'm in that sort of section of the game now, which I think is the penultimate area before you then get to the end. I think so. Coming up to the end, I've got all the body parts of the baby. As weird as that sentence is. I haven't had any spoilers yet, so I don't know how it all pans out. But I've managed to do well considering that game's been out for a while. But I was waiting until I got on my PSVR 2, which I got back in January. So I have been thoroughly enjoying that game. It is genuinely very scary in moments. I would say as a game, it is better. It's I think Resident Evil Biohazard 7 was better as a game. I think Village is scarier, has more jump scares. I think game style wise, it's closer to 4 because I played Resident Evil 4 VR and like the actual actionness of it is like that. Other than that, I finished Expedition 33 now. I'll make sure not to say too much because I don't want any spoilers for you because I managed to play through the whole game spoiler free and there's lots of really cool aha moments and what the hell moments which you just have to experience and enjoy. So I've kind of been jumping around trying some other stuff and I've been playing Doom Dark Age. So I thought I'd give that a burn.
And how is that?
It's all right. It's fun. It's Doom. It's, lots of monsters and explosions and metal music. Quite high adrenaline kind of game. It's nothing revolutionary. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's cool. It's Doom. Was I cutting the grass already? Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I'm only playing it sort of on Game Pass. I think if I dropped like 60 odd quid on it, I would probably be disappointed.
Really?
The last Doom game I played was Doom VR, and it's very similar to that in that you've got all the different enemy types, the different ways of dispatching different enemies the best. So it's like you're playing a really intense game of rock, paper, scissors while jumping around and moving around really fast, and there's like heavy metal music playing and everything's on fire. It's cool. It is fun, but I don't think it's going to be a Game of the Year candidate for me. Especially after coming away from Expedition 33, which is an absolute masterpiece. But yeah, that is me at the moment. We'll see what happens next after I've done a bit more Doom.
Intriguing. I've heard about Doom that it just takes a while to bed in because everything's heavy, and because everything's really clunky and heavy. It's not your typical sort of Doom experience. It takes a little while to bed in, but once you do, it apparently starts to take on a new sort of lease. Part. We'll have to see how that runs with you. It might be that you go, nope, it's just good.
No, it's just good. It's all right. Like again, it is cool. I'm enjoying it, but it's it's Doom, and it's fun.
Excellent.
I haven't really got much else to say about it.
That's fine. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a bad thing that it's Doom and it's fun. What else do I really want? Yeah.
So, Morley Buxton, thank you very much for gifting some memberships. Obviously, that is an incredibly generous thing to do.
Thank you, mate.
So yeah, hopefully those that get those will enjoy. Blanoise, what are you playing?
Well, I'm still playing Mario Kart World. We'll go into a bit more detail later, but currently managed to at least get first place trophy on all the way up to 150cc. I've been going around free roam trying to collect all the panels for every single area and trying to get them pesky P knocks. I don't know if someone saw in the Facebook group the other day. I uploaded one of my videos where it took me a while to get the grinding going, but going from one side, flipping back and forth, and then tested that out because obviously I want to speak about it today.
Mm-hmm.
And also a completely random game that I would have never thought that I would have even jumped on. And basically it all come from the Debug magazine.
Okay.
So I collect Debug magazine. I get it every month. As you can see, I always post it in the shorts. You always see it come up on our feed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was looking in, and I checked the price on it, and I picked up Undertale.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm playing it on Steam Deck. I picked it up for like £6, peanuts, and it is so weird. I'm still trying to work out, like, am I dead and trying to come back to life? But the characters in it are funny. Like, it's that pixely graphics, and it's like, as I said, it then leads you straight into the next section of games, which are all chapters. I can't remember what it was called now. What does it go into? So it goes from Undertale, and then it goes into this like chapter 1, which was all like the magazine was on. I'll have a look in a minute. I remember what it's called. But so I've been playing that a bit. I've managed to play quite a lot of that. I've done a few hours on it.
Mm-hmm.
But mainly, and then my son come down and was like, "Oh, Dad, we got Game Pass." I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Oh, there's this new football game, and it's new football game just called Rematch, I think it's called, and it's basically like made by EA, and it's like five-a-side football, but you only control your one character,
Mm-hmm.
so it's a bit of carnage going on. It's kind of like what's the football car game? It's kind of like that.
Oh,
Rocket League.
Right, Rocket League, but you're all like condensed in a tiny little tiny pitch kind of thing, not like a full-grown pitch, and you're just like, it's quite funny actually. So we had a quick go on that. He's all right. I wasn't too bad either, but it wasn't like your typical FIFA like you'd think. Like, it was just like all for all, just like trying to just smash through and trying to score as many goals as you could. It's actually no fouls or anything like that, so it's actually quite good. But
so is every player controlled by someone? Is there?
So every player is controlled by someone else. There's no computer on there because it was free on Game Pass, and that is basically So that Mario Kart World I'll get into in the Switch stuff later. I said I did play a little bit of Tears of the Kingdom 4K patch just to see what that was like and how that looked, because we did get a new TV because my wife was funny because our remote broke, and I basically went, "Oh yeah, what about this one?" But while I was at work, she just ordered it without even checking with me. So without knowing, I had the 65-inch TV turn up and only just fit. And I think so. I was like, brilliant. Like, I didn't even have to. I didn't even have to get clearance. Yeah, just went and bought it. So managed to get new TV up. So with all the old HDR and 4K and all that going on. Yeah. So everything's looking pretty good on that screen at the minute.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. So I have been flicking between I'm still playing a little bit of Rita's Rewind, the Power Rangers side-scrolling beat 'em up, which is mega fun, really silly. It's just like Power Rangers.
That's it, Colin. Deltarune.
Deltarune. Okay, yes, I have
Deltarune,
heard
yeah.
the title.
Yeah, it's the same makers.
Maybe that's some more developers we can look to get on. But yeah, Rita's Rewind, that is something I've been enjoying the hell out of. Very cool to have a physical one. I think I showed on a past episode, I've got a nice big box, steel books and all that kind of shit. That has been really good. I'm going to save my other PlayStation game for last. I got too much FOMO, picked up a Switch 2. So I have been playing Mario Kart World. I got the
boxed version as well.
I know. I got the digital.
The digital. I'll get onto that later, but I was not happy with that.
So for people that are wondering what the carts are like, so they are exactly the same as Switch carts. They're just red.
It's the corner which is different apparently. That's how it knows if it's a Switch 1 or 2 cart. One of the corners is different when it goes in. I learned that playing that Switch 2 game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one thing I thought, I'm going to hold on and I'll do this live because
lick test.
Exactly. Because as everyone should know, the Nintendo Switch cartridges, they're very small and they would fit in a small child, toddler's, baby's mouth quite easily. And sometimes companies have these really great ideas. So they put an awful taste on the carts so that if a child was to put them in their mouth, they wouldn't necessarily choke on it because they'd probably spit it out because it would taste awful. So me being me, I was like, surely that's not true. Licked a Switch cartridge and was like, that tastes horrific.
Yeah.
So I figured I'm going to try a Switch 2 cartridge, see if they've still done the same thing. And
I heard it's supposed to taste like sick.
Yeah, the answer is it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you've done it, so the rest of us don't have to.
So
lemon.
It tastes like. Do you remember that stuff that your parents used to sometimes put on your fingers to stop you biting your nails? It tastes like that.
No. Battery acid.
It's really grim. It's quite pungent.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, lick test complete.
Well, there you go.
So I've been playing Mario Kart World, and I also picked up the Bravely Default HD remaster. Oh, there we go. Purely because I haven't played it. I really wanted to get this on 3DS. By the time I'd gotten around to the point of being like, yeah, Bravely Default, let's go, it was already hard to get hold of. It was a 40 quid game and you're like, oh, I don't really want to play it that much. But it's been upscaled. Oh yeah, no mate, I'd rather eat a sand sandwich if I'm honest. But yeah, the HD upscale is truly great. It looks absolutely superb. You can tell it's definitely an older game that they've made look pretty, but it still looks very pretty. It's a Square Enix game. It's a turn-based RPG, so it's right up my street. So I'm very much looking forward to that. I put down Black Myth Wukong because I might go back to it. I might not. I haven't quite decided. I don't think it's as good as it could have been, and it could have been great. But in its place, I picked up Expedition 33, and that has been my main game alongside Mario Kart World. This is incredible, and I don't think I'm overhyping it when I say it really is that good. The story is incredible. The voice acting is very, very good. The script is very good. It balances out being like graphically, it's not quite real. You know, the characters have a slight little cartoon hint to them, so they don't ever come across as like super realistic. And I think it actually benefits the game a little bit. So it has a style which is very cool. But it is a very adult tale, even if it's not necessarily told like Grand Theft Auto or or Doom or something like that. But it is a very adult tale. It's a drama, really. It is a drama, but it's a very adult version of it. And I'm in love with it. I think it's absolutely stunning.
So many things right about the game. It feels like a classic RPG, but with modern day quality of life things in there.
Mm-hmm.
So you're playing a modern game, but it's got all the things that were good about classic RPGs. And I just love the landscapes as well. And obviously that fits into the plot, like the world they're in. And you just got like the fractured world, all this stuff in the sky. But everywhere you walk, you just want to pan around and just look at the landscapes because the landscapes are great. There's also, Seems said in the chat, the music is crazy. Got a really good soundtrack. There's really
so good.
Beautiful music in it. It's absolutely brilliant.
It's one of those RPGs that I feel like I will go back to again, and I probably will enjoy it just as much. And you were right, the opening is hard. The opening is a real kick in the balls straight away, sets up the tone. I sat there with my son, and my son was like, "Oh yeah, I'd quite like to see some of this." So I literally just put it in. He sat down, and we got to the end of that intro, and it was just like, "Wow, this is mega."
How far are you at the moment? Then, where have you kind of got to?
So I have just done the celestial camp bit where you have the arena and all of that sort of stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm about 10 hours in, maybe a little bit less. Just plodding around the world. Just I think I'm following the story in the right order. Because
I think a lot of the advice is just to follow the main story to begin with, and then not worry about exploring other bits too much until later. Because there are some areas that just you have to come back later when you're high level because you can't survive. 100%.
Yep.
I found that out when I went into the wrong place. Just got my ass kicked.
Oh, two things I'd mention if you haven't picked up on these already, because it will help a lot, is the timing. If you start off dodging, a perfect dodge is the same timing as a parry. So if you can perfect dodge, then do parry. Also, you only get a... I started parrying once you get the timing down. If someone does like multiple attacks, you only counter if you parry every single hit. So I'd always start off parrying, and if you accidentally miss one, then go to dodging after that onwards because it's a bigger window. And also, I didn't catch up on this to begin with. Some enemies have like the weak spots, like when you've got the guy's little mind. One hit destroys it. Later in the game, the weak spots take more hits to destroy. So you hit it and nothing happens. You have to hit it multiple times, and it will come up with a thing saying they're weakening, and then the weak spot will get destroyed, and it will stop them from doing certain attacks. But I didn't catch on to that for ages later. It's like, I missed out on weakening some enemies because I thought, that's not their weak spot because they didn't react, but you have to hit them more than once. Yeah. So that's my little tip, and I'll say nothing else.
Triangle Faces tips and tricks. So yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying that game. I could gush about it all night, but I can't because we've got too much to talk about.
We've got stuff to talk about, but I'd love to hear your thoughts when you finished it because I've got lots I want to know your thoughts on, but I can't give you any spoilers because I don't want to rob you of those moments.
I think it would be really good because loads of people keep saying there are no good RPGs on this generation or the older the previous generation. And I would love to do an episode about modern RPGs because I think that is wrong. There's lots of good RPGs, just some of them are different. So maybe that's something we can go back to.
Maybe, something we can do.
Yeah.
Anyhow, let us jump into... let's do this one. Let's make Tim get some FOMO. Switch 2 first impressions. So yes, as I said, I got too much FOMO. I managed to pick up a Switch 2. Blunners has had one since launch date, and let's go. So Blunners, what are some of your first impressions of the system?
Yeah, so if you do check, if you haven't already, check the channel out. I've done an unboxing, also done an unboxing on the GameCube controller. I picked up day one as well. It was more of the same, to be honest. It is it's well built, it's bigger. I've been playing a lot more handheld at the minute. Mainly because I can just watch something on TV and just play Mario Kart at the same time. I found the screen resolution's really good as well. I still don't understand why we've got a little bit of a bezel going on. I think in a future release there won't be any bezel on that. It will just be a full screen. Because I was just thinking, how can they make this any better? OLED, because I've got an OLED Switch, which I've just given to my daughter now. So you look at was the downgrade needed? And like the one major fault I think in the Switch 2 is the battery life when you play portable. So I do think with an OLED screen that would have been even worse. So the fact that like, because I say I get about 3 to 4 hours max out of Mario Kart, but interface is exactly the same. It is pretty much just an upgraded version of your normal Switch. The fact it can play all your stuff, the way like they finally have got to the HD revolution, so you finally can see the difference in these games. And I feel, as I absolutely love like Nintendo games, I do feel that HD is gonna, that 4K is just gonna make them look so much better. Like I cannot wait for Metroid Prime. Cannot wait for. I just think that one's going to look fantastic. Mouse controls, it surprisingly works really well, doesn't it? Like when you hear about it, you think, "Oh, it's not going to work. It's rubbish." But actually, it was fantastic. And release night, I went and got one, and I didn't go to bed until like 4 a.m. and I was up at half 6. So I had to go full day on like 2 hours sleep, and it was worth it. But mainly it was because I was waiting for the bloody download to go. So yeah, I literally picked one up at midnight. It's home by 20 past, and then it took ages for the game to download. Even though I've got a fantastic speed, it was still taking ages to download. Games itself, like when I look at the release window, I felt some of these HD upgrades, especially for the Zelda, looks fantastic now. It plays, obviously it played amazing anyway. You're just making a better game better, and I feel very jealous for the people that are going to be playing that first, like playing it now first time compared to what we had to go through. It does get a bit hotter, as in like not majorly hot, nothing you can't really manage, but you can hear like fans and bells and whistles going on when you're playing in handheld mode a lot more, because that's what I've been doing. The GameCube stuff is fantastic. At the minute, it's only 3 games, but the Zelda game on there is fantastic as well. I'm really enjoying it. I think it's a great bit of kit. It is right up there. It's at last we've finally joined. Like I said, we've joined like this first party. We can get first party games. Like I see people playing Cyberpunk and stuff like that, and it looks just as good. But yeah, it's a lot better than what it is 60 frames. Like, but like just the way it looks so much better. Everything's sharper, pinch sharp. It is but yeah, I was just trying to think of some pros and cons, and like other than the battery life is one of the main. Ollie's gone, but other than the battery life is mainly
he's got to play his Switch too. That's what
he's going to play a Switch too. But I would say the battery life for me was the main hindrance on it. The GameCube controller, it is exactly what it says on the tin. It is a like for like Wavebird without the big lump on the bottom of it. The only thing is it doesn't have the LNR. It doesn't have the click-ins. So your analogs don't have click. Oh, you're right. Ollie's back.
No, I do. He's back.
So yeah. So I was saying. Hang on, you need to move me back. There you go. See, I was just saying, like the GameCube controller is just basically Wavebird 2.0. It's exactly the same. The analogs rotate around; they just don't click. So there's no L3 and R3 at all. But the feel of it is fantastic, and you can use it just like a normal Pro controller. Because that's the one thing I wish I got. A couple of times I'm playing Mario Kart and I'm hitting them triggers, them R2s when I'm doing the jumps. Sometimes they're not registering as much as I wanted. As like sometimes they haven't registered at all, and I'm like, hang on a minute, I'll just click that. Especially when you're playing 150cc and you're like really trying your best to make sure everything goes right. But
yeah,
I'm really hopeful. Obviously, if you give your thoughts, and then there was a little sneaky direct last week that I jumped on and watched live with a few people in the chat. And we can jump onto that afterwards. But yeah, the games are coming. These first party games are going to be fantastic, and it's just more of the same.
Yeah. I mean, it's I mean, Shems has said in there, you can use your Switch 1 Pro controller, which is what I've done. So I've just connected mine to my Switch 2, and that's when I'm gaming on my couch. I do that. I have used the Joy-Cons. I've separated them, put them on the grip that it comes with. It's absolutely fine. Like that as a controller works well. I just like the Pro controller because the Pro controller is built phenomenally well. That works great. I'm more surprised with it than I thought I would be. I thought I would just go, this is great. This is a lovely upgrade. All the games are going to look great again. Let's go. But I really wasn't quite prepared for just how good Mario Kart World looks. Because at the moment, is that the only first-party brand new Switch 2 game that isn't an upgrade that's available?
Yeah, because I think Donkey Kong wasn't ready on time.
Yeah, and it's noticeably different. It doesn't just look like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that's a little bit nicer. Like it is noticeably different when you're looking at it and when you're seeing the reactions. It's tiny things. Like you might see it when you watch people playing it, but when you do the drifting and the cart lifts up slightly at the front just as it goes into the drift. I remember seeing that on a video and thinking, oh, that's cool. That's a nice, neat little feature. But when it does it on the screen in front of you, you notice little things like the tires now compressing as it lifts up and then it hits back down and the tires compress slightly more. There's more detail in the characters' clothing. There's more detail in the characters' faces. It's just
the fact you press plus and you go straight into free roam. You'd never be able to do it like instantly. There's no loading. You're in the load. You're in that front screen, aren't you? You press start and you go straight. You go straight into whatever character's on the screen.
Yep. And I'm sure if you've got poor internet, there might be some lag or there might be some issues with connecting. But I have not had a single issue connecting to any game whatsoever. And one of the big shining stars for me in Mario Kart World, which you just wouldn't be able to do it on a Switch, is the 24-player knockout race. My God, that is stress and fun. It's just everything. It's so good. You've effectively got 24 live players all competing in, I guess, like a Ridge Racer type thing to get to the next checkpoint. And the first checkpoint, you have to come 20th or better. And then the 21, 2, 3, and 4, they get booted out. And then you get to the next marker is 16th. Then you've got to become better than 12th, then better than 8th, then the top 4, and then you're competing to win. And it is so good. It is so addictive, and it is absolute chaos. Because it's quite good holding back and being nearer the back of the pack because you get all the good power-ups, all the good boosts, all the good weapons, and you can just use those to creep up the leaderboard, rather than just storming it out in front at first place, because then everyone's got a good weapon and they're all gunning for you. So that is a technical marvel for a Nintendo.
So what I was thinking, Ollie, was I was trying to think, how could you make that game better? Do you know what I mean? And I've been
the knockout or Mario Kart World?
No, just the whole Mario Kart World as a whole. And I would say, personally, I feel they could have gone down the ultimate route with the the better style characters.
Yeah,
you've got a couple of just throwaways, and I'm really racking my brains to think, how can you make this even better? And I think other than being able to have like a custom like knockout or a custom GP where you can select what races, what tracks you're going to do.
Yeah.
And then it just automatically, because at the minute you go through, don't you? You go through and it's all done for you. Right. Yep. This is that star. This is that cup. This is that cup. What if there was a cup that you could go, right, I'm going to play like, what was it? Boo Cinema. I'm going to play like Mario Kart X. I'm going to do Rainbow Road, which we'll talk about in a minute, I bet. And and then another one. And then you then drive around, even though it take longer, but you've selected your own courses. Because I was like, to be fair, it is that good. Like the open world is fantastic. Like a couple of times I've been in like, you're like, wow, it's Mario Kart. You can't get angry because a couple of times I'm literally last corner, won every effing race. out of all these tracks, and I get to the last corner because I want that 3-star on my trophy, and I get around the corner, I get hit with a blue shell.
It's
and you're just
Kart,
like,
isn't it?
oh, but a couple of times I've been hit as I'm going over the line and somehow still bumped the character and won it. So it works both ways. But yeah, it is. Oh, the rewind feature. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
So I've seen people use that. So when you get a blue shell come over you, as it's about to drop, you just press rewind. So you'll drop, it bangs, you just go straight out again. So it doesn't take as long. So
Does it have retro tracks in this, like other games? Can you play like tracks from previous Mario Karts?
Yeah,
only the original tracks. It does have that as well.
They're kind of built into the modern tracks. But there might be a mode or an option whereby you can
Meadows.
but they all filter in from another track. So you'll like turn a sharp corner, go through a gate, and then all of a sudden you're in an older level, which is quite exciting when that happens, because the first time you're like, oh wow, I didn't see that one. Do you know what? The only thing that could make it, and I don't think this would make it better. It would just be a different game, and I don't think you'd be able to have the traditional racing in it. But to have a Forza Horizon type game, but with Mario Kart, so you can enter all these races, enter all these cups, but it's just in open world.
Hidden characters or hidden like barns, like they've got the barns, haven't they?
Yeah,
and Forza hidden stuff like that. Because I was just trying to think, like, it is that good, it's that polished, it runs perfect. Just talking about it now, I just want to go and play it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's
we are we have been told that we are Nintendo bootlickers
and Evercade bootlickers.
But I mean, the thing that I really like, I mean, I've got it here, mine here, and it is noticeably bigger than a Switch. I'll pull out my Switch as well. You know, the two are noticeably a different size. There's the Switch, and there's the Switch 2. Like, it is bigger. It's a lot bigger, and it's not just like, oh yeah, it looks about the same. No, it's noticeably bigger. It feels heavier in your hands, and the Joy-Con snap feature is I really like it. You've got your little trigger on the end here, and you push that in, and then that releases the magnet, and then you just push the two together. Well, you don't even push it, you can just literally
let go,
drop it in, and that's it, and it's in, and it's not going to go anywhere. It feels very secure. It's a very well built system, and the dock has stuff going on as well. The dock's got a fan in it now. The dock is a little bit more robust
as well.
So the whole package, I think, is fantastic, and I think for the price point, it's bang on. You know, the Switch was just under market value, which is what I think made it such a competitive console. This, I think, I don't see this as an upgrade. I do see this as a successor, because it really is packing a lot more punch. And I think once some of these other first-party games start coming out, like Donkey Kong Bonanza, I think that's when we will. Oh, yeah, exactly. Just not the carts. Don't lick the carts. We've covered that earlier. But yeah, it is Nintendo's next console. This is going to be potentially what sees them go all the way, you know, for the next 9-10 years potentially, because the Switch lasted that long. And the fact that it is backwards compatible with pretty much every Switch game that I own anyway is perfect. And I know that I've said before, I'm not overly fussed on backwards compatibility, but with the Switch, there is just that many games that you haven't gotten to yet. And so to be able to still play that library, and Nintendo have always been the family friendly console. So, you know, I can just see parents getting really ticked off if you've just invested in a Switch and then there's now a Switch 2. At least they know now that they could get the 2, still buy Switch games, and everyone's still going to be dead happy. But I love it, and I want Tim to get so much FOMO that he immediately goes out and buys one.
Yeah. So I was saying, so then they done that sneaky direct last week with this new Donkey Kong game, and I was already all in because I loved Donkey Kong. I love the N64 Donkey Kong, even though it gets a bad rap. But this looks amazing, and it caught everyone by surprise. The little thing on the shoulder that was just blue little like this like purple little like boulder, which people were playing as in their demos they had out in America and that, and one where we're in UK. All the pictures and the videos with this little character, and then it turns out to be Pauline. People don't. So obviously, I was a bit like, as I say, me and Nick were in the chat, and I was thinking, what the fuck, why Pauline and all that? But then Nick done a bit of he looked into it and he put a comment on the actual video that if you remember in Jumpman, the 1985 Mario Donkey Kong game, it's Pauline he has on his shoulder, not Princess. Yeah. So that is how it ties in. Obviously, in the pictures, it just the new Donkey Kong game, it looks absolutely fantastic, and I love the concept of smashing. It basically, like I was saying, like you look like Hulk. You're like basically the Hulk that you can smash through everything. You can find all the hidden bananas, which is just like the Mario. It's made by the same guys who made Odyssey. You can just tell that by looking at it. Bit of a weird premise that you're racing to go further down into like the core. You're racing to the planet core, the core of the planet to be able to get out. So that's like how I think that's how they're doing their level modes. So you're having to like start your way through, but I think it's going to be the same case of you got to beat your boss. Oh, that was it. The power-ups as well. They looked fantastic. I don't know if you've seen them, Ollie, but it had like you could turn in. You could basically do like a Maui out of what's that Disney called? Moana.
Moana.
You could just jump in the air. You could run as like the zebra, jump in the air, and then go into like the guy with the wings. Yeah, you could basically like the eagle. You could change what you're doing on the fly. But it to me it just screams quality. It just looks fantastic, and you know it's going to play well. You know you're going to be like looking in every little nook and cranny trying to find these secret bananas in every level. It had Cranky Kong in it. It had Dixie Kong and Diddy Kong in front of you at one point on one of the levels. And if you have I've got a young daughter, she can take the other controller or get a separate controller and use the mouse mode and then shoot shoot out singing, because Pauline just likes to sing, and you can shoot that, and that like puts holes in the floor and stuff. And there's like little puzzles in that you can use. But and then there's a bloody amiibo coming, which I'm still waiting for the UK link to be able to pre-order it. But which gives you
the same if it wasn't forcing you to keep that going, would it?
I know, but I was mad. I was thinking they would have stopped it by now, but yeah, they haven't. Yeah, the co-op is like Jem's put here. It's a nice surprise. Maybe Consider get it. Yeah, well, I'm definitely getting it. And then Nick, he was sneaky and used the code. He's managed to get it for like £35.
Oh, nice.
Off Very, yeah.
Very good. So, Tim, when are you getting one?
I've got to access loads of games. One of these things. I don't need one. I probably will.
Needs one.
No one needs one. I don't know. Come back to me. I've recently actually did get an Xbox Series S, like the smaller one. So I've been playing those games in Game Parks, which are X and S. For I've only been playing on cloud, and I was playing Expedition 33 on cloud. I was like, it'd be nice if I could just download it. So I decided to pick one up secondhand and just got a Series S. And I'm also thinking I want to upgrade my PlayStation Plus subscription to be premium, because I'm going to have more VR games on my library. Don't know. It's on the back burner. It's not a priority for me at the moment.
Okay.
I'm really enjoying the games I've got. I'm really enjoying my PSVR 2 headset, which I only got earlier this year. So I've not had my PSVR 2 for that long. It seems a bit soon for me to be getting another big purchase like that just yet.
Intriguing. So yes, I don't think this will be the last that we talk about the Switch. I think there's going to be, as games come out, as things evolve, I think we're going to be revisiting the Switch quite a lot. So I'm enjoying the hell out of it. Those eagle-eyed people in the Facebook group, they will notice that I did pick up the digital version of Mario Kart and then got the physical one as well. And that's purely because I want the physical copy. And
that's what I was going to say. That's fuming, mate. It's just a bit of paper on a little bit of sheet. You could just wipe your backside with. I was like, what is this?
Bad
like, what has happened from the NES days of having the massive Mario Brothers 3 cartridge in there with the box and everything. And now just got a little bit of paper that they've just if you look at some of the ones in America, it looks like they've gone, oh, we need to chuck the Mario Kart game on this. So they've just slapped a round sticker on it, like slap.
Yeah.
And there was a bit of drama, weren't there? People stapling their receipts and breaking the switch through screens in America. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. I just was so annoyed. I was like, it's just a bit of paper. Like, it means nothing with a code on.
Yeah. So I sold the code on eBay and made the money back. That basically, I've still got the code up there, which is great. So I still get to have it, even though I've got the physical one. But the money made, even if I'd paid the non-digital version of Mario, that's how much I would have cost the console. The game would have cost me about £40 new. So that was, I felt like I've done myself all right out of that. But yes, so much stuff to get back onto because let's go with talking about this next because this is coming up thick and fast. Are we able to roll VT, or do we have to change? Is it in?
That's a good question.
Is it in here? Is it in here? No, it's not. Never mind. In that case, I will just talk nonsense about it for a bit. So hopefully those of you who are coming to Knots VGE next month, if you can believe that, next month, have got your tickets. If you have not, just go to the website, use code TVG. This will get you 20% off your ticket. There are some incredible guests coming. From the top of my head, I can't remember everybody's names, but there's the Croc developer who's going to be there. This is one of the first times he's going to be at a convention talking about Croc. We've got Andy Davidson, who created Worms. We got to meet him earlier the year at Bristol VGE. So if you've got any big box PC versions of Worms, this would be an opportune moment to come and get them signed by the crazy mind of Andy Davidson. We have got the guy from
Adam Sawkins.
That's it, Adam Sawkins. He's from
Revolution are there as well.
Revolution,
Yep, there's a whole bunch of people that are going to be there. We're going to be hosting some talks over the couple of days. We're going to be hosting some competitions. So there's going to be a Street Fighter 2 or Street Fighter competition. There's going to be a Donut Dodo competition. We're going to be...
I'll ask him that, seems.
I hope so.
Now, can't we get an exclusive?
There's just, and aside from all of the great talks and all of the great competitions that's going to be on, you are also going to be able to spend your hard-earned cash on a variety of game vendors that are going to be there. I think the guys from Sore Thumb are going to be there. They've always got some great stuff at their tables. It's just going to be an absolutely killer weekend.
And of course, you've got the debug guys as well, haven't you? And there's chance players of indie games.
Exactly that.
Plus, we've got to make sure everyone gets a photo with us. So if anyone comes, then you get photos with us and get it in the group.
Yes, we're going to want to do some kind of big group photo at the end. Would be tremendous. So yes, if you don't have a ticket, please get one. I know Nottingham it's about as Midlands as you can get to the UK. It's right bang in the middle. I can't oversell the event enough.
Did you mention Stu Cambridge and Tony Warner as well?
I did not.
I think we might miss those ones. So they also know.
Stu Cambridge, we're going to be able to talk all things sensible soccer. I think whilst we talk to Stu, I think we should be having some sensible soccer tournaments going on along the side, and he can help us with some commentary.
I would be eliminated immediately.
I think that'd be great fun. So if people in the chat think that would be great, because I mean, you don't have to know football or soccer games to know the word sensible soccer. It's a powerhouse in gaming. So that might be really cool to play sensible soccer live with Stu Cambridge, and the ultimate winner could face Stu at the end. That could be good fun. But yes, so Knots VGE 26th and 27th of July. Is that right? Look at that.
Yeah.
My brain's
25th, I think. But yeah, it's right. Literally the last week of July last weekend?
26th and 27th.
There we go. There was 20 somethings. So yes, code TVG, 20% off your tickets. Get your weekend passes. You won't regret it. It's going to be a superb weekend. Come down, say hi, buy some games, play some games, chat absolute monkey knobs with us, and it's going to be a really, really solid weekend. So yes, not VGE. We will continue to bang on about it until we are there, and then we will bang out about it while we are there also. So there we go. Alex, Amy, and the team have put together a great show so far. Let's jump to Xbox Direct, because this is the one that I know the least about. I've not been able to see much on it, so I'm going to be running off of what you guys talk about, I think, a little bit here. Okay. I do need to catch up on this, though.
I'll chime in then, if you like. So there was quite a lot of things announced. We did cover the state of play, which we'll come back to later, but this one was on a Sunday during the day, so it was hard to cover it on the channel. But yeah, there's some good stuff on here. The standouts for me, I think the main one they were plugging was the Outer Worlds 2. That seemed to be like the main announcement for them as their big showcase game. I never got around to playing the first one, but I've always thought it looked cool. But you've then also got High on Life 2. High on Life's got that great sense of humor. It's got I'm not sure who's involved in it, but I'm sure it's got like Rick and Morty vibes in there, isn't it? It's the same sort of sense of humor and voices and stuff. So, but I'm not sure exactly how they are related. That was a big thing as well. The handheld announcement. If I just call out the bits that stood out to me, then I'll hand over to Blunders for any things that you thought were the big standouts. One for me that I definitely want to play is the Clockwork Revolution. That looks like a very cool sort of first-person adventure game set in like a steampunky, futuristic world, but you can affect history and you can rewind time, and then your decisions affect like the future landscape. And then you can also rewind time in like small amounts, like rewind to avoid being shot and that sort of thing. And then you can actually rewind to go all the way back and affect the game world. And that actually looks really cool. There's quite a few games. There's 31 different games announced, so we could be here all day. One that I was very excited by was Invincible. I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, there's an Invincible game. This is going to be amazing. It's a little bit disappointed that it was just a side-on fighting game, which again will probably be very cool. It looks a little bit like Injustice kind of thing. But when I saw the trailer, I was really hoping for like a third-person, like adventure story campaign kind of game, and that's not quite what we're getting. But anything with the Invincible IP over it, I am all over. And then there's a few games announced that haven't previously been available on Xbox, like some Final Fantasies. So you've got Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade and Final Fantasy 16 coming to Xbox. One thing I would say about it, and this is true of the PlayStation stuff as well, I don't know if you guys agree, is that some of the games did look very impressive. But there's also felt like there's quite a lot of filler of games that have just that cel-shaded, like animation, cartoony art style. There wasn't anything that made me go, wow, this looks like really like big next-gen game. Like even that Clockwork Revolution and Outer Planets 2, they look good, but they don't look to me like really impressive graphics. They look like cartoony, sort of stylized graphics. And the only game that kind of blew me away a bit, animation style, was Call of Duty, I don't know what we're on now, 7? I want to say 7.
Who cares at this point?
Black Ops 7.
It is Black Ops 7. Like I was watching the trailer thinking, wow, that looks awesome, looks really, really good. And then the title came up as Call of Duty, and it's like, meh. It's like, wasn't over because I'm not really a Call of Duty guy, but can't deny the graphics on that looked incredible. So yeah, those are the main call outs for me. And also quite a few things being announced day one Game Pass. Like not everything, but there's quite a decent amount of Game Pass day one announcements, which is great for people with Game Pass like myself. What are your thoughts, Blanners?
Yeah, so for me, the ROG Ally Xbox versions, I thought, here we go. They're finally entering the portable world of gaming. I've heard some contradicting things on this. Obviously, the original ones you can get, which aren't attached to Xbox, are fantastic anyway. I've heard great things about them on Retro Game Corpse on his game channel. But I've heard that the black version is like the X, and it's going to be ridiculous money because it's got all the bells and whistles, and it's gonna be like, I've heard upwards of 800 quid. I don't know that's true. And then the white one's like your cheapo version, which is going to be about £400. I think that, which is what I think is what I've heard. Nothing's confirmed, obviously, but yeah, basically it's a PC. And it's also going to run Steam. So it's also going to run Steam. It's going to run Windows. So if you want to just run Steam, or just get, like we were saying, like Tim does, just if you've got a Steam Deck, just run your Xbox cloud gaming through that.
It's a weird move. We'll come back.
It is a very weird move.
Jump onto your game. We'll come back to it.
Okay, yeah. Really weird move, but yeah. So games to me, Super Meat Boy 3D looked fantastic. Call of Duty Black Ops 7. I'm not a great. I used to play back in the day, but I would quite happily just play the like story mode. Not interested in any of the online crap because some of the people on there are just ridiculous. But I like the actual story modes are really good, because what I did is I took like a massive hiatus from Call of Duty, then ended up just going through like CEX and just buying them all back up again, just playing like the actual intro, just playing like the actual story modes, and then just going on to the next one. And the actual games itself are fantastic. Do you know what I mean? Like, you mean everyone remembers the old Modern Warfare and the
that was game changing.
And what was it? The terrorist one at the airplane at the airport.
Modern Warfare 3
got
wasn't
banned.
that?
Yeah, so do you know what I mean? It's like Dave Noonan's put a new Battlefield, looks great as well. But yeah, what else have I got in my highlights? Let me just quickly look. Main one, well, there was a new Hollow Knight as well, which was shown off.
Cool.
Looks fantastic. They finally showed off a bit of gameplay for it. One thing I did find, there was obviously the Final Fantasy stuff that you guys have gone about. For some reason, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 was shown. But there was, I was saying, that Clockwork game that looks fantastic. Ninja Gaiden 4 looks fantastic. Obviously the Outer World 2. I want to have a look at Planet of Lana 2 as well. That looked quite good. But like Tim said, a lot of cell shaded stuff. Game Freak's new game. That's the one I was trying to remember. The Beast of, is it Finkeration or something it's called? Now that looks fantastic. So Game Freak, the guys who make Pokemon, are finally coming out with their own like completely different game. So interesting to see how the hell how the hell are Game Freak releasing a game on Xbox, and two, what is it going to be like? Do you know what I mean? I can't expect it.
Very cool, actually, doesn't it? Like, graphically, that was one of the standout ones, actually. Yeah.
Yes, I don't know if you want to bring a picture up, Tim, but if you know how to do it. But yeah, it was a lot. I would say it was a good 7-8 triangles out of 10 show. The fact that because like for me, you can sit back and you think, I've got Game Pass. It's not going to cost me 50 or 60 quid a game.
Yeah.
When it says only on Xbox, and obviously they've got the remake of Gears of War, which I'm still fuming has come into PlayStation. It shouldn't.
Yeah, that box art.
I mean, that's like
it looks weird, man.
That's like me seeing Mario on a PlayStation. Also, do you know what I mean? It's just weird.
It's super weird seeing that Gears of War box art. Is like, well, this shouldn't be happening, but I'm kind of glad it is because I don't have an Xbox anymore. But
it does look too good to be a Game Freak game, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then once this game comes out, it's just game over, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think the thing that's really encouraging is, from hearing just you both talk about the showcase there, the only thing that I've seen is Super Meat Boy, because Super Meat Boy is fantastic. The 3D one just looked great. But the thing that I've picked up from this is, again, first party new games. Not so much this heavy reliance on, a threequel or a prequel or a remake. I'm sure, yes, they're always going to be there because it's nostalgia. But to be bringing new IPs out is a really good move for the games industry, because people want it. Much to contrary, but if people do want it, Oh wow, that does look great, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is the
These are the people who do Pokemon.
Yeah, Game Freak. I couldn't believe it. I thought, do you know what I mean? I didn't think it was
That looks stunning.
It was a game from them, but yeah.
Yeah, how exciting. But the thing that Microsoft just cannot get right, and I do critique Microsoft for this, and I'm allowed to do that because I'm a consumer. Is Microsoft just don't stay the course? They don't come up with a plan or a system or a way they want something to be. They just change their mind, and then things get squiffy. They make too many compromises in areas that they shouldn't be compromising in. And ultimately, yes, it's Microsoft. They're not short of money. If they sell 10 million or 100 million consoles, they're still, a very profitable business. But I think Microsoft in the console era, certainly post 360, have just not listened to what the market wants. And I hope with the new wave of this is an Xbox and eventually whatever the new Xbox console turns out to be, I hope that they look at what their core demographic is, and their core demographic is digital gaming, Game Pass. That is their flagship, and they need to fly it.
That Xbox are making a lot of decisions at the moment. Do seem to be quite pro-consumer. Like they're getting Steam library added. They're giving some of their first-party games away to other platforms to use them. They're putting a lot of new games on Game Pass on launch day and things like that. So yeah, I think they're making some good choices at the moment. But yeah, I do agree. But I think you're right. I think they need to kind of go, right, do you know what? We're a digital platform. That's what we're going to do. I think they wanted to do that on some previous models, and everyone's like, no, we want physical. Don't do that to us. And I think if they stuck to their guns and go, no, this is the future of gaming. If you want physical releases, that's available elsewhere. We're going to bring you this platform, and you can access this platform in all these different ways, so you can just keep gaming wherever you are. Yeah, I think that's a winning format for them. We shall see.
It certainly is. So let's jump to the PlayStation State of Play, because I can see a comment there from Dave Newland that desperately makes me want to talk about it. So PlayStation State of Play, man, this had some killer titles. Some people came away from this showcase and were like, meh. And I was genuinely a bit like, why? There was so much good content. And some of the super standout for me was obviously being able to see Silent Hill F working and moving gameplay and musically, thematically, and it's just ticking boxes. It is just, tick, 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 tick. Silent Hill is back. And I really hope the game doesn't suck, because Silent Hill 2 Remake was absolutely stunning. I'm so pleased that game exists. It's put Silent Hill back on the map. To then have a brand new Silent Hill IP game come out, I want it to hit a home run. I want it to be amazing, because the other announcement was that Silent Hill 1 is getting a full remake from Bloober Team.
Yeah,
and that is probably the game that needs the remake, because as much as I love that.
2 then 1 is the only thing that's kind of like, why did you go back?
I think it's just because Silent Hill 2 is bankable, isn't it? Even if it turned out to be terrible, people would have bought it, and I would have done. Whereas Silent Hill has never been upgraded. It's always looked like it does on the PS1, and that's it. So you've really got to look after this game. They've got an opportunity to bring it right up to date. It would be like, well, the best comparison would be the Resident Evil 2 remake, going from the PlayStation 1 version to that version. This is what it's going to be like for Silent Hill fans. So very excited for that. Has anybody got a rundown list of the State of Play games?
I've got to say one more, 007.
Do you know, James Bond just doesn't do it for me. But I am very pleased that the game looks good, because
First Light is good.
There's a lot of people.
Fantastic.
A lot of people will be very excited for that. But yeah, let's.
It looks like he's young, doesn't it? It looks like he's fresh-faced, trying to get his 00 agent status, which I was then said. Well, my brother loves all James Bond, so I said to him, "Is there a film coming out we don't know about that they're going to go back to his roots? Are they, do you know what I mean? Or are they just completely gone? Do you know what? We're just going to crack on and make what we want here." So
yeah, just have a good game. I could just see in the chat there from Shems. Oh my god, Romeo is a dead man. That trailer was
that was weird,
wasn't it?
Oh my god, it was fucking bananas. There was not one part.
Like, what is going on?
It's so good. That first intro part where everyone's at the dinner table, and then it just goes from that. If the game had been in that styled graphics, I think I'd still be like, yeah, this is. I'm buying this. This is going to be a big tick because it's weird. But then it cuts to like hyper realistic graphics, and it's sort of it's so difficult to describe. It's a bit like Metal Gear meets Devil May Cry, but in a weird post-apocalyptic world where you can pull arms off of things and fight with a sword. It's just bananas. So Romeo's a Dead Man is a massive, massive tick for me. But yeah, what were some of the games?
There was another one I liked, which I thought was weird. Digimon story, Time Stranger. So that looked weird as well.
I could give or take that.
At all. I wasn't expecting it at all. I think it was a bit like right wing. But out of Astrobot, they announced there's some more stuff coming to that.
Mm-hmm.
And Ghost of Utah. Is it Ghost of Utah? Is it?
Yes, the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
The standout one for me was Pragmata, the one where you've got looks like it's going to be one of those escort mission games. You've got a little girl with you, but then like
that
the little
creepy
girl
robot AI girl. Yeah,
that AI robot girl.
Yes.
Again, graphically, that looks like and Silent Hill as well. I think out of the two of them, I think there's more from the Xbox one that I'm excited to play. But on the PlayStation one, there's more games that looked like current gen console games. Graphically, there's some really nice looking games.
Me and Tim live streamed it, didn't we, Tim? And they started the fucking show with Luminis. And I was like, why would you start the show with this? Like
Luminis is fine.
But you've got Silent Hill up your show. Boom, there's Silent Hill. You want like now? Let's get going. And do you know what I mean? That's how I think they should have started it.
Yeah, it was a strange choice, but strange choice. But yeah, from the titles that you're sort of talking about, I think that's probably quite a fair point. You know, the PlayStation stuff looked more next gen, but the Xbox stuff sounds like it's just maybe pipping the post a little bit with some of those games. I think with some of it it's so difficult to see what's going to stay Xbox and what's going to stay PlayStation, because most of the games that they now show are multi-platform. So it's going to be there obviously will be the ones that just stick. If you see a PlayStation Studios logo, that's probably going to be just PlayStation.
And the one thing I found was a bit odd is that how much time they gave to the new Marvel fighting game. It looks
that was
fantastic.
The closer.
I thought, do you know what I mean? Yeah, it looks fantastic, but that could have just been done with a trailer. You didn't need to go into so much depth and then just go, see how we're going. And I was like, where's the big mama game? Do you know what I mean? Where's The Last of Us remastered 5 times? Do you know what I mean? Uncharted remastered. That's what I was expecting. Do you know what I mean? I was expecting
Last of Us remastered remake.
A massive. Yeah. So I was expecting something, but I'm just trying to have a quick look at it, but I can't really see anything else that Final Fantasy Tactics remake on it.
Yeah, all in for that because Tactics is
Mortal Kombat Legacy Edition.
Yep, that
Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, Bloodstained.
Yep.
Sea of Remnants, Tides of Tomorrow. I'm just trying to think of anything, and obviously Thief we spoke about, Sword at Sea, Ninja Gaiden, Baby Steps.
Oh yeah, that was a weird one. Wasn't it? Like a game about trying to get to a toilet or something.
Bit like you're just walking around like you crapped yourself.
It's a walking simulator, isn't it? But I think you control all the limbs. I think that's what it is. Is it not? Like you have to control all the limbs to get yourself to walk, which is why you look a little bit like Octodad type thing. Do you remember that game on the PS4?
Dad, I was just trying to think of the word of the game. That's what I was just trying to think of. I said that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah,
but it wasn't too. Cool. I mean, it wasn't a horrendous one, was it? It was all right state of play. Like you said, the games looked more next gen. Yeah,
really solid. So I think the slate for Xbox and PlayStation and for Nintendo over the next 12 months is looking pretty good. We're eating well at the moment as gamers. Everybody's got a little slice of the pie, and there's definitely something for everyone. So I think that's a pretty good place to be in.
I thought with the films, with the TV show, I was expecting Last of Us 3. I was expecting, like, even if it was just the trailer, like a bloody Metroid Prime 4 logo where they just dropped that. I was expecting there to be something like that to go in with all the stuff going on around the actual TV show at the minute, just to be like, oh, we're in development. Do you know what I mean? Something
is though. I'm pretty sure there's some stage that they are in with The Last of Us 3. I'd be intrigued to see where they go with that as a story, because I feel like it needs a conclusion, because even though Last of Us 2 does end, like it has an ending, there's no cliffhanger. I don't feel like I'm finished with Ellie's story yet. I feel like there's more to tell. I'd quite like her to have a win. I feel she's been really hard done by, and I would love her to get a win. So we'll see. We shall see. Yes, Death Stranding hype. Loved that game. I know a former panel member didn't. He used to.
Did he call it like Royal Mail?
Royal Mail Simulator.
Royal Mail Simulator.
Which it sort of is, but it's just this incredibly, high-end sci-fi story as well. So really intrigued to see what they do with the second one for sure. So next bit before we get to any questions, if anybody does have any random questions they want to ask us, stick them in the chat. We'll get them started. We'll try and get to a couple just at the end. I appreciate we're getting on to a few minutes over now. So next topic was next generation console news. So Blunners, do you want to
I think it was Tim that came up with this one.
Oh, was it Tim?
Yeah.
Tim.
So,
take us away.
Hearing whispers and rumors now. So I've just kind of looked at some stuff we know so far. So we've got, we'll go with Xbox first. So we've got Xbox next generation, we've got core console Series X successor. So official confirmation. We've got Microsoft has confirmed a multi-year AMD partnership to co-engineer next-gen Xbox silicon, debuting both console and handheld devices. So I don't know if the device we've just seen is the next thing we're going to get for handheld. I don't know if we've got anything else in the works. Got platform shift. These devices will run on Windows, support multiple storefronts, Xbox, Steam, and Epic, not to be tied to a single digital store. And then the rest of it is just sort of talking about the life cycle and when they expect it to be launched. I think this is speculation. They're saying, looking at the life cycle of the releases, it's targeted to be around 2027, matching the same as the Sony PS6 timeframe. So it'd be interesting to see what they have, but it does sound like they might be working on another actual physical console, because there was talk of them saying like they're not going to do another console now, they're just going to provide some sort of platform. So it'd be interesting to see what that comes out as. With PlayStation in active development, Sony's R&D team is working on the PS6, like building using AMD technology and with chip validation underway. And again, timeline, it just says release date late 2027. Full backwards compatibility with PS5 titles and next-gen AMD NPU. Rumors point to a possible Zen 6 CPU. Some of you might know what that means. It sounds good. 12 plus cores RDNA-based GPU, pushing 30 plus teraflops. I think that's TF flops. Integrated AI upscaling. NPU, 3D stacked cache, and high bandwidth memory. So that'd be interesting if it's got backwards compatibility and the integrated AI upscaling. You can play your old games in better quality. So so it looks like we are getting new consoles.
There was one thing I heard. There was one thing I heard that they were bringing out a Xbox version of the Meta Quest 3S. That was all black with green to match the patterns. And then you get an actual Xbox controller with it, so you could play Game Pass. And also, I saw this image earlier. Obviously, it's a mock-up, but I just need to share it. Hang on, it's here. I saw this earlier, and they think this Series X2 is going to look something like this.
I mean, I could see that happening.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I'd be intrigued if they called it a Series X2, just purely because.
Switch 2.
Yeah, but it's a
X2.
It's a genuine second Switch, isn't it? It'd be like calling the PS6 the PS, X25. Why? Series
Apparently,
X2.
apparently it would be it's coming in 2026.
I don't know if this is just me being older, and I always remember being a kid and wanting that next console to come out. Like, I want the next system. I really want it. And yet, as an adult, I slow it down because I don't feel like I still don't really feel like I got everything out of the PS3, let alone moving on to PS4. I felt like when the PS3 was coming to its end, I was like, no, Xbox 360, PS3, like we've still got, I reckon we've got another year in this yet. And I think the first games that came out on those next systems that we have another year, really. And we're still making PS4 games, like brand new PS4 games are still coming out. Like how can we be moving on to a PS6? It baffles my brain.
I think I didn't get PS5 at launch either. It was a few years in before I got it, so I don't feel like I've actually had it that long. And I've only just got the PSVR 2, so they do bring out a PS6. It'd be great if it was backwards compatible with the PSVR 2, and they just carried on with that. Because if they bring out another 500 quid headset, I'm like, no, stop making me buy headsets. I've got one now. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
If they bring out a PS6 that is just PSVR 2, and you don't need to get a PSVR 3, but we'll see. Because again, it's just more and more money to drop on it, isn't it? And consoles are not cheap.
The only thing is that, like, when you look at GTA, I'm still trying to wreck my brain. How the hell is current hardware pumping that? I don't think it is. Do you know what I mean? And you look at it,
I don't know.
It looks like a movie, mate. It does. Do you know what I mean?
It does, but I reckon much like Final Fantasy Rebirth and other Cyberpunk and some games like that, I think it will come with an installation disc, and then it will have a huge day one patch that will go on top of that. So I think the game will need so much space on your PlayStation that's how it will run it. It just needs that memory. It will need everything. It will need so much free space to make it work. So I reckon it's doable for sure.
I'll just show you this, because this apparently there was a leaked. There's a leaked picture of this. This is why it's been out about that Meta Quest. Here. So
we're going to go with allegedly.
Allegedly, so it looks here. But then this picture here was leaked. Meta Quest 3S Xbox Edition, and obviously it's got a controller there.
Nice.
Top right outside. So that has been shot in the wild. You can see there's an old phone. That looks like look how old that phone looks there.
It does look like an iPhone 3G, doesn't it?
Yeah. Or it's one of them ones, but yeah. Allegedly,
yeah. Don't copyright strike us for that. We're just reporting what is allegedly news. Interesting. Yeah, I just don't feel ready for a new generation. I don't. I felt like with the Switch 2, like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for a next Nintendo system. The Switch has been a great system. It's been on the go for, is it 9 years?
Yeah, it needed upgrading, didn't it?
Like 9 years. Like, they have literally milked that thing for everything it could give you. And
PS5's 5 years already. 2020 it came out. COVID.
Yeah, for 5 years. I reckon easily to 2030 we could make that last.
Oh, it
100%.
needs to. Yeah, I don't think we've even had like enough out of it, to be honest.
No. There's been some great games. Like I'm looking at my PS5 games, and I do have a lot. And there are some stunning titles, but quite a lot of the titles that are there's a lot of indie games. You know, there's a lot of indie titles there. We'll just have to see what comes. Yeah. Anybody got anything else they want to chime in with on the next gen console news? The fact that they are now talking about them.
It's mad, isn't it? I think Xbox might need one where it's selling so poorly. So that's probably how they're thinking, oh shit, we need to refresh because we've just upped everything £100.
Yeah, and I would like a Series X. Sorry, I would really like one because of the backwards compatibility with 360 games.
Yeah.
Oh, it's tasty.
You can buy them in CX, slot them straight in, they download. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would love a Series X to be able to access all the, because I've got so many like this unit here behind me is double-sided. The other side of it, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 shelves across and 4 shelves down, and my 360 games take up the 3 shelves on the back. There's so many. I'd love to be able to revisit them. Really would.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Right.
Next gen console news. We have 2 questions starred, which we will get to now. So the first question was from Mike Holton. Any battery issue blunders? I'm presuming this is to do with the Switch 2.
I would say no. Not like the issues I had with my Evercade. No way. Don't know if you've played yours handheld at all, Ollie, but I just found that it would last me an evening. Let's just say that, and then you'd thinking, or I'll be playing it, and then it will come up, flashing up like, oh, you need to plug the battery in. And I was thinking, wow, I haven't really had it off the dot. I've never even had that with the Steam Deck before. So yeah, so a couple of times things, but nothing to really majorly concern. But yeah, I just do feel it's not as, that battery life isn't as great as it should be. And I do feel if there is an upgrade in the future, like they did with the OLED version of the Switch, I do feel like that will need to be addressed.
I think mine lasts about 4 or 5 hours or so, which is, I'm happy with that. It's rare that I'll play it for 4 or 5 hours straight in handheld mode. So
his right Joy-Con went flat when docked, and luckily I haven't had that. But was that just a connection issue? Was it, Mike, or was it not? But there was Gems put here. There was an issue with the battery indicator, which Nintendo posted a guide on how to fix, but I haven't seen that.
And next question was from Gem. It says, do you think the new Switch 2 game keycard games are going to be tradable in CEX? I would have thought that would have been happening now. Let me load up. I don't know,
because this whole new style of sending a cartridge, sending a game to someone that's close to you. I mean, you can game share with them, and they can have it for 14 days, and then it will just automatically drop back.
So you can get Switch 2 games and Switch 2s on CEX. So I'm just looking on the CEX app at the moment, and you can get things like Yakuza Director's Cut, £45. They'll give you 33 trade-in for the voucher. They've got Mario Kart in there. Mario Kart is £75. You can get that brand new for the same price. The console itself is out of stock, so they don't have any in stock at all, but it's $395 for the core system, which again is about the brand new price if you can get hold of one. Both Zelda games, £65. Everything's as if you're buying it brand new, if I'm honest. Street Fighter 6, $50. Cyberpunk 65.
That's one thing I found is like when I'd done that Donkey Kong thing and I was talking about that being 60 quid physical. It's about 55 digital, and it was like the varied pricing they've gone with. This varied pricing is crazy. Like you said, Street Fighter 6, 50 quid.
Yeah.
Yakuza, £40, and it's like the difference is mad. But is that because they were download? Is that because they're the game key cards? Which I'm hoping that they should work, shouldn't they? Should be.
Yeah. And then last question before we sign off. Will you guys be buying games that come on a game key card? I've got a feeling Bravely Default. Yeah. So Bravely Default, for me, on the bottom, it states there that it is a game key card.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. I have one.
So for a newbie, just head down, just to explain what that actually means, though.
So yeah, you put the game in, and you just need to do the whole download will come directly from inserting the game card, basically. So it says on the bottom there, full game downloaded via the internet. Full game download via the internet is required. Please see back for details. So yeah, it just tells you that you need to download the whole game.
So no different to when you put your PlayStation 5 game in. You got to wait for like 4 hours for it to download.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Why is that naughty? Why is that naughty? But yeah, I don't mind that. You know, I still get my physical game. I still get a card. It's still got it's clearly got something on the cartridge itself. It's not just like I originally thought. It's just going to be a blank card. But so Bravely Default there, you turn it around and it does have. It's like there is a chip in there, so it's doing something. It's not just an empty shell that tells the system to download. I'm not doing that again. I feel like I've done that. I've done it once. If you missed it earlier, at the end of the stream, go back to the beginning. I did do the lick test on the carts. Can confirm they taste like arse. Don't put them in your mouth, kids. It's not worth it. Good question. I don't know. Ask me in 30 years and we'll find out.
Well, in my days, sonny boy,
we had game key cards.
I think in 30 years we'll have other problems than game key cards working or not.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't think. I mean, you thought
the bombs won't have dropped. We'll be all right. I'm hoping so. I hope we can look back on this in 30 years and go, "Whew, that was a close one." Anyhow, yeah. There's been a lot to talk about today, so it's been a lot of fun to be able to talk all the gubbins. We are back next Monday with Total Evercade podcast, and in the next week or so,
who's with us? Sorry.
Oh, I'll let you say.
Oh well, we are back. Total Evercade podcast number 62, and we are joined by Mr. Sean Cleaver himself. He is. I'm going to be answering your questions. So yeah, I've been trying to get him on for a while as he's doing the rounds on other podcasts. I thought I'll sneak in there, send him a message. We'll send him a message and get him on. So yeah, so he'll be on our next Total Evercade podcast.
Excellent. So make sure you put that into your diaries for next week. There's going to be lots of cool things to talk about. I know, mate. In 30 years' time, yeah, I won't be far off. Forgotten where I was going with all of that, but there we are. Yes. Also, in the next coming weeks, we will be getting our episode 2 of the Total Steam Deck podcast booked in. So, yes, do keep your eyes peeled for when the next episode of that is going to drop. So much cool stuff to talk about on that as well. So, yeah, looking forward to the next episode of that. But in the meantime, thank you everyone for joining along live. As always, it's fantastic to see so many of you in the chat, and it's so lovely to be chatting to you all. get your Knots VGE ticket so that we can talk to you in person. Yeah. If you're new to the channel, please do head on over, hit that subscribe button for us. That helps us out a huge amount. And do give the video a little cheeky thumbs up, because that lets us know that you've enjoyed the content. And until next time, we will see you all soon. Bye.
Yeah.